let's talk about a puzzle happening in the financial world right now. Because honestly, something just isn't adding up. You've got the stock market, right? And it's sitting near its all-time high, which should be a sign of amazing strength. But at the exact same time, investors are actually pulling their money out. There's this huge crisis of confidence. So how can both things be true? How can the market be so high while trust is hitting rock bottom? Let's dive in and try to unpack this. At the very center of this whole thing is one single, incredibly frustrating number: 0%. According to our source material, that is the grand total return investors have seen over a 2-year period. Just think about that for a second. 2 whole years of riding the market's ups and downs, all the stress, all the waiting, only to end up right back where you started. Absolutely no growth, just time lost. What happens when people see 0 returns for that long? Well, you get this: a massive 40% drop in equity investment. Now, this isn't just some minor little dip, okay? This is a huge shift in how investors are behaving. It's basically a mass exit from the market, and it's all fueled by that disappointment. To really get why people are so anxious that they'd cause a 40% drop, we have to start at the root of the problem. And that brings us right to our first section: 2 years, 0 return. Let's break down what that kind of stagnation really feels like when you're the one with money on the line. Here is stagnation. When you hear 0 returns over 2 years, it means the market has pretty much gone nowhere for investors. It didn't crash, thank goodness, but it's just been stuck. It's like being in a long, frustrating traffic jam. And for a lot of people, that slow, grinding feeling of going nowhere can be just as bad for your confidence as a sudden drop. And you know, that deep-seated frustration, it does more than just hurt your portfolio's numbers. It starts to erode the very foundation of investing itself. Which brings us to our next section: breaking trust. Because let's be real, markets don't just run on numbers and algorithms. They run on people's belief in a better future. This is where we see the human element, loud and clear. The source material says it plainly. People are pulling money out of the market. That 40% drop we just talked about, that's not just some abstract statistic. It's the combined result of countless individual people deciding, you know what, I'm done, I'm taking my money and walking away. So ultimately, this whole thing goes way beyond just a couple of disappointing years. The source material is pointing to a much deeper problem here: a fundamental breakdown of trust. When people lose faith that the market is going to reward them for taking a risk and being patient, well, they just stop playing the game. How in the world did we get here? How did we go from the highs of market euphoria to this widespread feeling of anxiety? Well, our next section puts it all on a timeline to show you that journey from high to stagnation. This slide just captures the whole paradox perfectly. Look at the left, that's the start of 2024. The market hit an all-time high, and everyone was optimistic. Now look at the right, that's today. And how is the market described? As just hovering around the same place. So you have this incredible peak, followed by a long, drawn-out, boring plateau. Walk through this chain of events. So in 2024, the market hits its peak, and that gets investors excited. But then, for the next 2 years, the market just flatlines. And the result today? 0 returns. And that result is exactly what destroys trust and leads people to pull their money out. You can really see how one step leads directly to the next. So when you put all these pieces together, the flat returns, the market being technically high, the broken trust, it leaves us with one final and really important thought. Our last section is simply called an important question. And here it is, the central mystery from our source material. The market's value is near its peak, but human confidence is at a low. So we'll leave you with this to chew on. If the numbers on the screen look so good, why does it feel so bad for investors? It's a question that really forces us to think about what a truly healthy market even is. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.